friends, Monica here from Jerosol Vintage. Welcome back to another episode of Flipping Furniture. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I upcycled this cute little mid-century modern table that I found off the side of the road. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified for next week's video. If you guys are ready, let's get started. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and start off by sanding the top. I'm not quite sure, but I think that at some point this table had veneer covering the entire surface. And I'm only saying this because the surface was really bumpy and you can really see all the seams which are usually covered by veneer. But nevertheless, I feel like this table is super cute. It has really good bones, and with a little sanding, we might be able to bring it back to life. As far as my sanding goes, I started using 80 grit sandpaper, and then I went up to 100 and 120. Up next, I'm going to be removing the hardware because I'm going to sand the front of the door. And for this flip, I'm not going to reuse the same hardware because it's warped. Instead, I'm going to be using this nub that I found at the community forklift when I went to visit them last month. If you are ever in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area, you can go ahead and go visit them. It's a beautiful place, you guys. And I say beautiful because I just love to repurpose things. I like to recycle them. And this place, you can find lumber, you can find appliances, tile, windows, toilets, paint, cabinets. I mean, anything that you want to be able to get at a cheaper price for any home improvement projects, you can find them here. I'm going to go ahead and put their information down below in the description box. I flipped the table upside down to remove the legs for two reasons. One, I wanted to stain the legs to match the top. And two, one of the legs was a little wiggly, so I needed to fix that. And finally, it's cleaning time, and as always, I'm going to use crud cutter to clean my piece, some latex gloves, a little bit of water to rinse our piece, and a rag. Now this piece, I can tell this piece had been sitting in someone's garage because it had a lot of dust in it. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we get rid of all that so that our paint can adhere better to the piece. And of course, I started spraying without wearing my gloves, but it's okay. I am putting my gloves on right now, and I am also living my best Grey's Anatomy life. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. And after cleaning up and prepping our piece, we're gonna go ahead and set up for painting. For this part, I'm gonna be using my spraying bottle. I'm gonna use a paper plate, but you can use a container just to pour a little bit of your paint. And I'm also gonna be using Dixie Belle's Scarlet paintbrush. I've never used this paintbrush before, so I'm really curious to see how it's gonna perform. And last but not least, as you can see, we're going to be using Antebellum Blue. Dixie Belle paint has a very thick consistency, so what I like to do is add a little bit of water to my paint, and I also like to mist my brush just to make sure that when I'm applying the paint on the piece of furniture, it's just gliding a little better. This really helps with brush strokes and it creates a smoother finish. So after applying that first coat of paint, I'm going to give you an honest review for this brush. It is a nice brush. It does perform well, and I really like that it doesn't leave brush strokes. However, take really good care of your brush because it is not cheap. It's a $20 brush. Actually, to be more exact, $19.99. Yeah, it's a good brush. It really is a good brush. But again, take good care of it because it's not cheap. As you already know by my other videos, I really like to stain the tops of my pieces. Every time I have the chance to bring out the natural wood tone, I stain it unless it's a custom piece and my client wants it completely painted. This time I use Varathane wood stain in the tone American Walnut. This is the premium kind which dries faster and it's much more pigmented. Now, because this is a more pigmented stain, I only used one coat and I wiped off the excess with the lint-free rag. When you're doing this at home, feel free to add as many coats as necessary to achieve the look you want. Just remember that you have to let this dry before you can apply the next coat. Now here I'm just going to apply the second coat on my piece, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the front of the door. I removed this brass piece to stain the legs. The metal was intact, but it was looking a little rough, so I washed them and spray painted them. After painting and staining the legs, it was time to put it all back together. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to put the nails back into the legs, but all I had to do was just push it with my finger, and at the end I just went around to each one of the nails and I tapped it gently with the hammer. Finally, this is the last step of this trash to treasure makeover. In the past, you've seen me using poly to top coat. This time though, I'm going to use a wax because the liquid top coat that I like to use is satin, and it's the only one that I have on hand right now. You can buy poly top coat in a matte finish too, and actually Dixie Belle does have a matte liquid top coat you can use. But don't worry about remembering all this information because I will leave all the links to the products I'm using today and other alternatives in the description box below. After I'm done applying this first layer of wax, I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to wax the side of the table, and once I'm done with the sides of the table, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off any excess from the top. When you're top coating with wax, you just have to remember that most waxes will take about 30 days to cure completely. My client is going to be picking up this table from me in about 2 weeks, and they are well aware that they do have to wait the appropriate time so that they can put anything on top of this table. For those of you who enter my local giveaway, I just want to go ahead and announce the winner right now before I forget. The winner of the mid-century modern cabinet is the Bedford Life. I also made the announcement over on my Instagram page, so if you guys are not following me on Instagram, I'm going to go ahead and leave those links down below. But yeah, congratulations to the Bedford Life for winning this giveaway. As I mentioned it earlier, this table is going to be going to my client in 2 weeks, and so I don't have any numbers for you this week. This is actually a gift from me to my friend whose son is going to be moving to Washington, D.C. He recently graduated from college, and we are trying to help him furnish his apartment with really nice furniture without having to pay too much for it. the nub that I was telling you guys about that I got from the community forklift in Maryland. And as you can see, I only paid $1 for it. It's really good quality, it's really pretty, and I feel like it's gonna go perfect with this mid-century modern table. And before I show you the final result, I just want to remind you to like this video. Comment what was your favorite part and share with someone who might benefit from seeing content like this. Also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that button for me. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I'm only going to be able to do that with your help. Here is a little reminder of what this side table looked like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you guys next week with another furniture flip video. Bye bye.